Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Welcome to the Yahweh and Yahshua Speak television show. We are going to start a new lesson this evening entitled No More Tears, No More Murmuring. Let's go to Revelation, the 21st chapter. No more tears, no more murmuring. Revelation 21. So what the kingdom, the world calls it heaven, but it's really the kingdom where everything is perfect will be like, is described in Revelation 21st chapter. And we want to read one verse, Revelation 21 and verse 4.
Hallelujah.
Let's read.
And Elohim shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more deaths, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
So this is going to be a really, really, really good time. It says, and Elohim shall wipe away all tears from our eyes. Their eyes, those of us that have been sighing and crying because of this wicked world that we're in. There shall be no more Mabet, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things have passed away.
Yes.
This is talking about when the new heaven and new earth comes. Now let's go to Matthew, the 20th chapter, or Matthew, because this is after all the things are over.
Okay.
But Yahshua described the kingdom or heaven in a parable.
Okay.
Before everything is over.
Okay.
He's describing it the way it is now and what we have to go through. Matthew 20. And what Yahshua said was that there would be people murmuring
Oh, yeah.
against Yahweh.
Yeah.
Matthew 20. Not only just people in general, but he said the people that's supposed to be laboring, doing things for Yahweh will
I
be
know, right?
murmuring against him.
It works.
That's before we get to this perfect place,
Yeah.
utopia. Matthew 20. Let's start at verse 1, please.
Hallelujah.
For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard.
All right, so now he's talking about the same thing we read about in Revelation, the 21st chapter, after it's all over. It'll be real nice after it's all over, but there's some things that we need to know about how it is now.
Right,
Here's
right.
Yahshua describing the kingdom. He said the Malkuth of Shemayim is like unto Adam that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. Now this householder is talking about Yahweh. He's the one, he's telling this analogy or metaphor. Yahweh's the one that went out and hired people to work in his vineyard.
Right, right.
All right, verse 2.
And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them unto his vineyard.
All right, so everybody gets a penny a day, whatever that exchange is. Don't think about the penny nowadays, but whatever the wage was, they all agreed. All right, verse 3.
And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace.
Verse 4.
And said unto them, Go ye also unto the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way.
Verse 5.
Again he went out about the 6th and 9th hour, and did likewise.
And verse 6.
And about the 11th hour he went out, and found others standing idle, and said unto them, Why stand ye here all the day idle?
Now, one thing about the householder, talking about Father Yahweh, he don't believe in people standing around doing nothing.
That right.
So you see, he saw some people about the third hour, which is about 9 o'clock in the morning. He saw them standing idle doing nothing. He said, hey, why don't you come into my vineyard and do some work? He said, whatsoever is right, Yaman, I'm going to give you. What was right was what he agreed with. A penny, whatever that wage is, that was right. All right? Then he saw some about the 6th hour, which is about high noon, the 9th hour, which is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And he told them the same thing. Hey, I'm going to give you this wage too, whatsoever is right. Then about the 11th hour, which is about 5 o'clock in the evening, he went out. He saw still some other people standing doing nothing. He said to them, okay, why are you standing around here? Go work.
Right, right.
All right, verse 7.
They say unto him, because no man hath hired us. He said unto them, go ye also unto the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive.
So he said, you know what? They said, hey, nobody hired us. He said, come to my vineyard and work. And he said the same thing he said to these people a couple of verses earlier. He said, hey, go into my vineyard, and whatsoever is Yahweh or right, that shall you receive. All right, verse 8.
So when even was come, the owner of the vineyard said unto his steward, call the laborers, and give them their hire, beginnings from the last unto the first.
9.
And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny.
So they all got the same wage. He told the steward, the Adon, or the master, the owner of the vineyard, talking about Father Yahweh, said unto his steward, remember now, Yahshua said in verse 1, this is what the kingdom of Shemayim is like. This is what the Malkuth is like. All right? Like a householder, somebody that owns something, and he's hiring people to work in his business.
Right, right.
All right? So he said after everything was over, every man received that same wage. Verse 10.
But when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny.
Verse 11.
And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house.
Now Yahweh is the good man of the house. When the first came, who got hired about 6 o'clock, they agreed to work for a penny. Whatever the wage was, they agreed.
Right.
Everyone that came thereafter agreed to work for the same thing. But it said in their mind, they figure, they suppose they should have received more.
Right, right.
Not only them, but everyone else. And it said, when they had received that penny, they murmured against Yahweh, who was the good man of the house. Yahshua is talking about how the kingdom is. The English word murmured is a Greek word found in Blue Letter Bible number 1111. Thayer's Greek lexicon defines murmuring as to mutter, grumble, say anything in a low tone, debating secretly. So they didn't tell the man to his face. They didn't tell Yahweh to his face. They did it behind his back. This word, murmur, relates to the scribes, the Pharisees, the disciples, and the people of Israel in general.
Right.
Speaking
right.
against Yahweh and Mashiach.
Right.
It's done by a whole crowd of Israel or a few.
Yeah.
It's always used of indignant complaining about displeasure with something that Yahweh is doing or Yahweh has said to do. It's always done more privately than publicly.
Yeah.
Talking against Yahweh and his plans.
Okay.
Let's go to Genesis, the 3rd chapter. So now there's hostility in Yahweh.
Yeah.
Before we get to Revelation, the 21st chapter, where there's no more tears and no more murmuring.
Yeah.
Genesis, the 3rd chapter.
Yeah, that's where it started.
So, being hostile against Yahweh,
in the wilderness.
they started way back.
In the wilderness.
And talking against him in the form of murmuring and complaining are nothing new.
Just like
it's not new. It existed prior to the fall. Genesis 3.
Right.
And let's look at this hostility now, where this lie is told on Yahweh. Because murmuring ends up telling lies on Yahweh. Genesis 3. And let's read verse 4, please.
Hallelujah.
And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
So he's telling the woman told him, hey, Yahweh said when we eat of that tree, we're going to surely die. The serpent said, Yahweh's a liar.
Right.
That's what he said. All right. That's murmuring against Yahweh.
Hell yeah.
All right. He said, no, Yahweh's a liar. You shall not surely die. Now somebody's lying here.
I know, right?
So the devil said Yahweh's lying.
All right.
Verse 5.
For Elohim doubt know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as mighty ones, knowing good and evil.
So he's saying, Yahweh lied to you because something good is going to happen if you don't listen to what he says. All right, go to Revelation 12 chapter. So hostilities, talking about Yahweh in the form of murmuring and talking against him, existed prior to the fall. The hostilities are designed to bury the truth that Yahweh has a good plan for everybody.
Praise the mighty Yahweh.
Everybody who submits to him, Yahweh has a good plan.
Yes, he does. Yes, he will.
The best plan that could possibly happen in their lives.
The best.
That's what these hostilities are about. And they didn't just start with man.
No.
Revelation 12.
Nope.
Let's read verse 7.
Hallelujah.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
This is the same one we just read about in Genesis 3rd chapter that was called the serpent.
Right.
He's called a serpent, snake. He's called a dragon. But it said there was war in Shemaiah.
Right.
Michael and his Malachim fought against the dragon, which is the devil, and the dragon fought with his Malachim. Let's go to Luke the 10th chapter. So the devil's hostility against Yahweh, Luke 10, started a war in heaven when some of the angels refused to go along with him. The angels who refused to go along with murmuring against Yahweh fought him and threw him out of heaven, where the Father's throne is.
Right.
Luke the 10th chapter. So he started these hostilities, this murmuring. And the ones that refused to go along with him and join in murmuring,
y'all right,
fought against him and threw him out. Luke 10, let's read verse 17. Now this is Yahshua again giving an account of what he witnessed happening to the devil for murmuring. Luke 10, 17.
And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Master, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name.
Verse 18.
And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
So this is a direct eyewitness that Yahshua is telling you when he was up in Shemaiah before he came to earth as a man. He saw these angels who refused to side with the devil to murmur against Yahweh. They fought and threw him out. He said, hey, I beheld Satan as lightning. So they weren't playing. They just threw him out, as well as the Malachim that joined with him. Go back to Revelation, the 12th chapter. So you saw the disciples, they returned to Yahshua with Simcha saying, "Ooh, Adon, Master. Oh, we're so glad the devils are subject to us through your name."
Yes, he is.
And Yahshua said, don't be surprised. He said, I saw him as lightning fall, being thrown out. He didn't go voluntarily. Being kicked out. Revelation 12, and let's start at verse 9 this time.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out unto the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Verse 10.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our Elohim, and the power of his Messiah. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our Elohim day and night.
So you see how much talking Hasatan was doing, that hostility? Just running his mouth, running Yahweh down. Said the great dragon, that's another name for the devil, was thrown out. That old serpent or snake called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was thrown out of heaven into the earth. And his Malachim were thrown out with him. When the angels who refused to side with him and murmur against Yahweh fought against him. He said, and then Iyshshah, a loud voice of Mara and Shemaiah. Now is come Yeshua salvation and Koach strength, and Amalkuth of our Elohim, and the Mashel of his Mashiach. For the accuser of our ark is cast down, is thrown out, which accused him before Elohim, Yowm and Layil. So he was murmuring, backbiting, and complaining against Yahweh, expressing his hostility against Yahweh constantly.
Yep.
Let's go to Yeshayahu or Isaiah, the 14th chapter. So Yahweh's plan, Isaiah 14, is for everybody to do what he asks, so it will go well with them. The devil assumed Yahweh's motives were selfish like his were. The devil's plan is for nobody to do what Yahweh asks.
Nope.
He wants them to do things in selfishness like him,
Right.
so they can get something out of it. Isaiah 14. Let's start at verse 13. Isaiah
Hallelujah.
14, verse 13.
For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of El. I will sit also upon the mountain of the congregation in the sides of the north.
14.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
All right, so here is the devil's motive.
I know, right?
Here is where the hostility against Yahweh came.
Okay.
It says, he said, his mind, I will ascend into Shemayim. This is after he got thrown out. All right, he's planning how he's going to come back. I will exalt my throne upon the stars of Elohim. Or talking about the Malachim of Elohim. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. That's how we know where Yahweh's throne is, and that's how this paganism, where they got the man in the red suit,
Right.
Satan claws,
Right.
coming out of the north, from the North Pole, they got this side of the Bible.
Right.
So
Right.
then they say, oh, okay, so we'll make him be like Yahweh. We're going to stick him over in the north at the North Pole. But this, they went in the Bible and got this scripture.
Right.
Says, this is the devil. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like El Elyon, the Most High. Go to Psalms, the 2nd chapter. So the devil's creation of murmuring, he created that. Again, in the kingdom, there will be no more tears.
No.
There will be no more murmuring either.
Nope.
The devil's creation of murmuring started the practice of rehearsing, plotting, and devising schemes against what Yahweh has planned.
Yep. Yep.
Psalms, the 2nd chapter. And we want to start at verse 1.
Hallelujah.
Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
Verse 2.
The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his appointed saying,
Wait, his
anointing saying,
Yes, verse 3.
let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords.
So it all
from us."
started with the devil. Now, you got people saying that. Why do the heathen rage? And Ha'am imagine a vain thing. What are they doing? Hamelech of Ha'eretz set themselves, and the rulers take Iyshshah or Yahshua together against who? Against Yahweh, and who else? And against his anointed. Those of us that are following Yahweh, but his first anointed was Yahshua.
Right.
They're taking counsel against who they following. They're picking up the hostility of the enemy.
Right.
They Amar, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Okay.
So the English word rage. Yahweh said, why do the heathen rage? We don't rage against Yahweh. We don't say what Yahweh said to do is bad.
Nope.
We don't say it's a problem. And you can say more with just your mouth, by your actions.
Oh yeah.
The English word rage is the Hebrew word ragash. That's R-A-G-A-S-H, found at Blue Letter Bible number 7283. Jusinius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon defines rage as to make a tumult or commotion,
Yeah.
to conspire and plot against Yahweh.
Okay.
Go to Psalms 83. So there are people picked up from the devil, conspiring and plotting against Yahweh. He was the first one that conspired and plotted against Yahweh. And now they're picking up the gauntlet.
Yep. They have.
Psalms 83, let's start at verse 1.
Hallelujah.
Keep not thou silence, O Elohim, hold not thy peace, and he not still, O El.
Verse 2.
For in thy enemies,
Wait.
for
Lo.
thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Right, lifted up their head
I know,
to think
right?
something different and say something different than what Yahweh said.
Right.
He says, Shamar not thy silence, O Elohim. He wants us to know now. Hold not thy shalom, and be not still, O Elohim, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult. Remember, they rage against Yahweh.
Right.
What he said, they rage against having the Shabbat be on the 7th day.
Right.
They rage against when Yahweh said, don't work, or don't do
Right.
this or that. They rage against that, and they do it. Thine enemies make a tumult or a commotion. They conspire and plot against Yahweh. Those that senay or hate Yahweh have lifted up the head. Talking about the ugly head of Hasatan.
Right.
Carrying his gauntlet, carrying on his plans. Let's go to Psalms 22. Yahweh said the heathen rage.
Right.
But Yahshua also said there's some people in Yahweh's vineyard that are raging.
Oh,
like
yeah.
heathen. Supposed to be
Right.
laboring for Yahweh and doing what he said, but they're raging against him, plotting against and conspiring against him. Psalms 22, and not cooperating.
Right.
Verse 12.
Hallelujah.
Many bulls have compassed me strong. Bulls of Bashan have beset me round.
13.
They grap upon me.
They gaped.
They gate upon me with their mouths as a raging and a roaring lion.
All right. So here's some bulls, but he's talking about people.
Right.
Many bulls have compassed me. This is the righteous man talking about, because
Right.
he's like those Malachim and Shemayim that refuse to side with Hasatan and murmur against Yahweh.
Right.
So many bulls have compassed you and me about. Strong bulls of Bashan have beset the righteous round. They've gaped upon us with their mouths as a ravening and a roaring lion. Now we're going to see there's somebody else in the Bible is called a roaring lion. That's the creator of this murmuring.
Okay.
The word bulls is used metaphorically for unbelievers who sacrifice words to the devil. They picked up the devil's words. It emphasizes the fierceness with which the words are spoken by the lips used. Like a bull. They talk about a bull in a china shop. Well, people take the devil's words and use them the same way. Let's go to Luke, the 23rd chapter. We were just talking before we opened up about people watching the news of olds. And they're like bulls in a china shop.
Right.
Preying upon people, telling you the most negative thing for the sensationalism of the headline and try to get more people to watch it.
Right.
Luke 23.
Y'all right. Tell it like it is so they don't know. Praise the mighty Yah.
Like roaring lion, taking the devil's words. He started the hostility. And if people would let it drop, it would drop. Luke 23, let's read verse 4, please.
Hallelujah.
Then said Pilate to the chief priests and to the people, I find no fault in this man.
Verse 5.
And they were the more fierce, saying, He stirred up the people, teaching throughout all Judea, beginning from Galilee to this place.
All right, so we're talking about these bulls with their speech.
Right.
Then said Pilate, Amar Pilate, to the chief Kohen, and to I am, talking to Israel, our people. I find no fault in this Adam. I'm talking about Yahshua. He hadn't done anything wrong. I don't see where he's done anything wrong. What did they do? They were the more fierce.
I know, right.
You tell some people they talking like the devil, they become more fierce
I know, right.
in the words that they're saying. Picking up that hostility from him talking against Yahweh.
Right.
The more fierce Amar, he stirreth up I am. Y'all ride throughout all Yadim, beginning from Galilee to this place. He said, no. They were more fierce. They came back.
Know, right?
Trying to support what they were saying. Let's go to Ezekiel, the 22nd chapter. To make themselves be right. Sometimes people want to be so right.
I know, right?
That they won't even listen
You're
to
right.
what you're saying. Or like you tell them, look, you're not supposed to be using profanity now that you've come to Yahweh. You got to train your mouth to stop saying that. Stop letting it come out of your mouth. You got to go through the process and control your tongue. Yahweh said in his word, if a man don't know how to control his tongue, then his whole spirit is upset.
Yes, it is.
He hasn't even really started on the walk with Yahweh.
I know.
But when you can control your tongue, you said, that's when you're really walking right.
Hallelujah.
That's when you're really doing right.
All right.
Ezekiel 22, verse 25.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, Ezekiel 22,
Okay.
verse 25.
There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion, ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many windows in the midst thereof.
Speaking the words of the devil.
I know,
There's
right?
a conspiracy in her Nabi in the midst
I
thereof.
know. Right?
Yahshua said in Yahweh's vineyard, the laborers is murmuring.
Right?
And after Yahweh paid them. It wasn't like he didn't pay them. He paid them. Then they murmuring with what they were paid, but they agreed to this.
Right?
There's a conspiracy of her not being in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion. Again,
Okay.
who's the roaring lion? We're going to see in 1 Peter, the 5th chapter. The devil is a roaring
That's
lion.
it.
They just they picked up his, like you know, relay race, and they passed the baton.
Right.
They got the devil's baton running with it. You
Right.
can hear it coming out of their mouth. The wicked words. Said like a roaring lion, ravening the prey, trying to eat up Yahweh's people.
Yeah.
Yahweh calls the words that the devil speaks fiery darts. When they come out of a human
Right.
mouth, they're the same, fiery dart.
Right?
They have devoured Nephesh. They have taken the treasure and meged, precious things.
Right?
They have made her many widows in the midst
I
thereof.
know, right?
Why? By not getting their tongue under control. 1 Peter, the 5th chapter. So people are copying the devil,
Yep.
who is the roaring lion. When they're like bulls in a china shop, speaking anything that comes out of their mouth.
Right.
Or let some new word come in the world, where you don't call a sodomite, you call him gay.
I know,
Then
right?
here come a bull in a china shop bringing that mess up in the temple, and like we supposed to go along with it.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Gay means happy, and ain't
Right.
nobody
That's right.
that come
Happy,
up with
bright
this
colors.
filthiness. Stop following the world and stand up and be the
That's
leader that
it.
Yahweh made you to
Hallelujah. Y'all ride, tell like it is, so they can know.
be. So people are copying the devil, who's a roaring lion. 1 Peter, the 5th chapter. And let's start at verse 8. And they're in a conspiracy
Hallelujah.
against Yahweh. They've taken up hostility against Yahweh by doing that. 1 Peter 5 and 8.
Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
How's he doing it? By these fiery darts, by these words. We just read in Yankee Scale about how souls are being devoured.
Right?
They've been taken like prey, like a lion roaring and just ripping them to shreds. Why? With the words that they're saying. And not even trying to change it.
That's it.
All right, you're hanging about unbelievers, but Yahweh said you deal with yourself.
That's
You
it.
train yourself to talk right.
So they can know.
Just stop acting like everything you say, words don't mean anything. That's a lie from the pit of the lake of fire.
That's right.
Words of life and death.
Thus
They're
says
either killing
Yahweh.
or they're making alive. It's time
That's
to be
it.
serious now with your
Hallelujah.
words. You said be sober.
Yes.
Don't act like a drunkard.
I know,
Everybody
right?
else out here just saying anything. Oh, this just killed me.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
you know, and it just kills me when somebody do that. You're alive. You still alive.
Right?
Oh, I'm just dying to go see that.
Huh?
Why you dying to go see it?
Huh?
Because somebody done said this stupidness out here. here following the devil. Come on, now use your brain.
That's
use
right.
your ruach.
Hallelujah.
Use Yahweh's ruach HaKodesh. And
Hallelujah.
train your mouth to
Yes.
speak what Yahweh says.
Got right.
He said, be
brother.
sober, be vigilant.
Yes.
Get your flesh under
It's a
control
must.
because your adversary, your enemy, and Yahweh's enemy,
Then.
as a roaring lion walks about seeking whom he may devour.
Yes.
He wants to eat Yahweh's people up. He wants them to keep talking stupid.
Right.
He wants them to keep saying goo goo gaga.
Right.
Grow up and start speaking kingdom words
Thus says
with no
Yahweh.
hostility against Yahweh.
Let the Bible speak.
Verse 9.
Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your breathing that are in the world.
So all of us are resisting this foolishness.
Yep.
Somebody gonna come and tell you take care. No, I'm taking Yahweh. I'm not taking no care. Yahweh told me to cast all my care on him. But the world done made it like, oh, that's a nice saying. It's unbiblical. That's the devil saying.
Right,
Why
right.
are you going to take on the burden when Yahweh said to cast your burden?
Right.
When he said to cast your care. Then why are you going to adopt it and act like that's something nice when you say goodbye to somebody? That's your ignorance now. But
Hallelujah.
Yahweh said it's time to get your mouth
That's
under
right.
control.
Yes, it is.
It's time to start speaking the words like Yahweh uses them.
Yes.
To use words to form and fashion the world and the life that you're supposed to be
That's
living.
right.
You have to treat words right. And you're going to have to make your flesh do it.
Yes.
It'll never do it unless you make it.
That's
And
right.
you're going to keep having to rehearse it and rehearse it and rehearse
Hallelujah.
it. But Yahweh said, resist,
Okay.
steadfast in Ha'emunah. Yada, that the same afflictions are accomplished in your ark that are in the world. So if you're around somebody that's using profanity, and it don't vex your ruach and make you want to get away from them,
I know.
something's wrong with you. You
I
better
know,
check
right?
yourself.
I know, right?
Because you're going to come across us, and then somebody's around us using profanity, and we're going to check them
That's right.
and tell them take that out in the street.
That's right. Back to that dirty world.
Don't bring it up in my house. I don't want to hear that.
I know, right?
Go to John, the 8th
Hallelujah.
chapter. So murmuring, Yahweh said, resist that. Just like the
Right.
Malakim and Shemayim resisted Hasatan, coming against Yahweh. Murmuring is offering prayers to the devil.
I know, right?
Saying
Got
those
right,
wicked
right,
words,
right,
talking about
right.
take care, that's offering prayers to the devil.
Okay.
And immediately that should cause your spiritual shield to come up. That's what happens to me and to those of us like. When people are talking these words to the world, our spiritual shield goes up, just like that. Now you got me in fighting mode.
Right?
I'm not taking in nothing other than what Yahweh's giving me that's
right.
good.
He told us to come out of the
See,
world.
now you done put me in fighting mode.
That's where we are for.
See, Yahweh
Warrior.
trained us as disciples.
Right.
This is how we are. And when you standing up and gonna use an example and talking about, yeah, you know how we do, you know how we can't hold on to anything, and you know how we, when somebody give us something, we tear it up. My shield goes up. And don't give me this garbage about, I'm just using an example. Well, why don't you use a positive example?
That does says
Why are you going to use the devil's example and
know.
say we and expect me not to have my shield up and come at you? You can expect it all you want. I'm going to come at you because you got my shield up now.
It's time. It is
You're going
time.
to talk about, how we, and anytime you give us something, you know how we tear it up. Get me up out of that mess.
Praise
That does not include me.
the mighty Yah.
I don't care what you say about how you just given an example. You are using fiery darts of the devil.
Okay?
You better learn it now.
Yes.
This is where you're supposed to learn it at Yahweh's house. Nobody in the world is going to tell you that. Why are you going to sit up and entertain that ignorant talk?
Hallelujah.
Stop it.
Praise the mighty Yah. Y'all right, bro. Sit down, no. Y'all
Murmuring
right.
is offering prayers to the
It's
devil.
time.
It acknowledges him as spiritual father.
I know, right?
And I know don't nobody up in here want to admit the devil is their spiritual father.
I know,
But
right?
if you open your mouth and you talking that ignorant stuff about we, and then you saying something negative, hey, you might as well hold the sign up. The devil is my father.
That's it. He is.
Yahweh said, you better learn how to control your tongue and you better let the Ruach show you how to do it.
Hallelujah.
He said, you can't control your tongue by
No, we
yourself.
cannot.
But he said, I want you to control your tongue because every idle word is going to be weighed in the judgment against you.
Right.
Against me, my idle words.
Right.
That's why I ain't siding with you and no mess against me. Now, if you want to use a negative example and say, I'm going to take myself out of it.
Hallelujah.
Then you go on with your example. And whoever, you heard it here
That's
at
right.
other temples, whoever doesn't take themselves out of there, then you go ahead and accept the negative about yourself.
Right.
I'm not going to sit up and let somebody say, yeah, you know how we so stupid. I'm going to say, you better speak for yourself.
All right. 'Cause we smart with Yahweh.
But that's just the way that the devil taught people to talk.
Right. The world.
And they thinking they can just slide along and not check it.
Right.
That's why Yahweh said, be disciplined.
Call themselves men and women of
Right.
Yah.
Stop acknowledging the devil as your spiritual father by your lazy words.
Right.
John 8, verse 44.
Hallelujah. Praise. Mighty
Ye
Yah.
are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar, and the father of it.
All right? So he's saying, hey, you of your father. You talking to Israel then.
Yeah.
Yahweh's talking to Israel now.
Yep.
If you're not training your tongue, letting Yahweh control your tongue, if you're not speaking wholesome words and words of life, and you have to practice to do that now because the majority of the people is out here just talking, what they say, trash.
I know, right?
And it is trash. They're trashing their lives. You ask them about something going on with their family, let somebody in their family have an illness. They'll trash their family. Won't even say nothing about believing Yahweh for their healing.
I know, right?
They'll trash them, talking about what they're going through with the sickness. Isaiah 53 doesn't come out of their mouth. Nothing about what Yahweh said about how they're coming through comes out of their mouth.
Hallelujah.
Why? Why? We have to ask ourselves. You of your father the devil.
Praise the mighty Yah. Thus says Yahweh, let the Bible speak.
Go to Isaiah 59. So we understand now he created this hostility against Yahweh. And Yahweh said to watch your words.
Right.
And Yahweh said let your words count and let your words have a purpose.
Right.
Yahweh didn't say just say whatever come out of your mouth. And he didn't say just go around repeating whatever anybody else says.
Nope. He
said don't even let that thought in, much less come out of your mouth. Isaiah 59.
Oh, 59.
So we are not of the devil.
No, not
That's
anymore.
why there shouldn't be no fiery darts come out of our mouth.
Nope.
But as I said now, let them come out of your mouth and they're against me and you trying to talk about we, include me in some stuff. I'm taking myself out.
Hallelujah.
You can think I'm crazy if you want. I'm crazy like Yahweh and Yahshua.
That's right. We cuckoo for
I'm
Yahweh
not
thoughts.
even getting included in nothing negative.
Praise Yahweh.
Isaiah 59, let's read verse 12.
Hallelujah.
For our transgressions are multiplied before thee, and our sins testify against us.
Yeah.
For our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities we know them.
13.
In transgressing and lying against Yahweh,
Look at that.
and departing away from our Elohim, speaking oppressions and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood.
Now, it sounds to me like Yahweh wants something to come out of your mouth of what he said.
Yep.
And if what's coming out of your mouth is not what he said, sound to me like you're going to be in trouble with Yahweh.
Yeah.
He said, for our transgressions are multiplied before thee, talking about Yahweh, and our sins testify against us.
Right.
If them fiery darts coming out of your mouth, they testifying against you.
Right.
And if we don't get ourselves out of it by rejecting it, say, I reject that
Right.
in Yahshua's name.
Hallelujah.
You're not talking about me, you're talking about yourself.
That's right.
Remember years ago, somebody came in here, yeah, well, you know how we're not sons and daughters of Yahweh now. And immediately, two of us stood up and said, you speak for yourself.
That's right.
Don't be coming up in here telling me what I'm not.
I know.
After my father has given me this,
I know, right?
I'm not taking that fiery dart.
I know that. Not none.
Our sins testify against us, for our transgressions are with us.
Yeah.
And as for our iniquities, we are died and we're supposed to know. And the mouth is one of the things that can be so sinful.
Yes.
But yet certain people just ignore that. They don't pay any attention to their mouth.
Nope.
You can tell because they come up in the temple talking the same way.
Right.
You can tell because
Right.
they will give you the biggest word in a medical dictionary and the biggest name, long name of a pill.
Alright.
When you ask them to show me the scripture where Yahweh said I'm healed by his stripes, where Yahshua went and he had these 40 stripes, and where Yahshua bore all my sicknesses and diseases, they don't know where that is. They can tell you a word that's 40 letters long.
Alright.
That's awful.
Yeah, it is.
Because the devil's been programming them.
Yep.
And they can describe from A to Z the symptom. But you ask them to where did Yahweh say that all your sicknesses and all your diseases have been
like
paid
it
for?
is.
They can tell you they got holes in their pocket and they're so poor and they broke and disgusted. Where did Yahweh say that all of your needs are supplied according to his riches and glory? They can't tell you where that is. Come and ask you to pray for them. You pray for them. Yahweh deliver them. You don't hear nothing about how Yahweh delivered them.
Okay.
That's wickedness. That's wickedness. Why you gonna come and ask the Kadeshim to pray for you? Yahweh delivers you and works it out.
I know, right?
And you don't come back and give the glory.
I know.
That's wicked. That's a fiery dart.
Yep.
Don't ask us to pray for you.
Okay.
If you not gonna come back and let us know, we know Yahweh delivers.
Hallelujah.
We know Yahweh works everything
Hallelujah.
out. Again now, it's time to get this tongue under control.
Yes, it's time.
Yahweh said, out of this tongue comes cursing and sweetness. He said, beloved, that should not be so.
Right.
The only way it's not going to be so is for me to take control of my tongue.
Hallelujah.
It's for you to take control of your tongue.
But it's practice.
It's for you to quit bristling up when we reject you, trying to make us listen to something negative or include us in something negative. You can bristle up all you want now. Yahweh said he done made our face like flint.
I know, right? I know, right? Hard as a rock, Yahshua.
Transgressing and lying against Yahweh. Don't be telling me nothing about how this person is sick or that person's sick, or I ask you about what's going on with somebody, and you lying against Yahweh and don't tell me how Yahshua went to the cross and healed everything.
Right.
All right, the doctor says you got a report. But don't lie against Yahweh and act like he hadn't done something about it before you even got the report.
Hallelujah.
Stop.
Hallelujah.
Transgressing that sin, lying against Yahweh.
Know, right?
Departing away from our Elohim. Speaking oppression and revolt. Like Yahweh is not doing what he's doing. Like he's not good. That's the devil's hostility. Still in your life that you haven't addressed it. Conceiving and uttering from what's inside you.
I know, right?
Words of falsehood.
I know.
You better dig it up now.
I
Yahweh
know.
going to show you how to dig it up. We're not going to let it be because Yahweh said dig it up.
Right?
Go to Revelation
Root it.
22. So by following the devil's lies against
Root it.
Yahweh, by following the devil's lies against Yahweh,
know, right?
are conceived and they're spoken. And then some of us are so in ignorance we don't even realize we speaking the devil's
I know,
lies.
right?
Till you come up in the temple and you got to be checked. 22
Praise
verse 14.
The mighty Yah.
Blessed are they that do his commandments,
Yes.
that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates unto the city.
Verse
Yes.
15.
For whom are dogs and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and adulterers, and whosoever loveth, and maketh a lie.
Okay, let's hear that again, because it's where they out? Where they at? 15.
For
Without.
without are
Yeah.
dogs and sorcerers,
Uh-huh.
and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth, and maketh a lie.
So when we don't say what Yahweh said, we love and make a lie.
I know, right?
That's the devil's people.
I know, right?
He makes it simple. Blessed are they that do his mishpat.
Revelation 22.
It says, for without are dogs, sorcerers, whoremongers, and murderers,
I know, right?
and idolaters, and whosoever loves and makes a lie. You gonna tell me somebody gay, you love and make a lie. They're sodomites.
Right.
Go to Exodus the 15th chapter. So murmurers offer words of criticizing and complaining to the devil.
I know.
Why? Because that's his territory.
That's it.
The English word murmur and murmured are one Hebrew word. Loon, that's L-U-W-N. We're going to Exodus 15. Or lin, L-I-Y-N, found at Blue Letter Bible number 3885. Jacinius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon defines murmuring or murmurers or murmured as showing oneself stubborn.
I know, right?
Now somebody check you and let you know, and then you come and right back.
Right?
We got to start doing the homework now. It's showing yourself stubborn. That's what this word means. Remaining and persisting in a bad sense.
Okay.
With complaining followed by and against anyone.
I know, right?
See, I mean, it's one thing, you know, and Yahweh, you know, checks us all. We all do stuff that's not right.
Right?
Somebody got to keep coming. He said, showing yourself stubborn, remaining and persisting when you know you're not talking right.
Right.
Exodus 15:24.
Hallelujah.
And the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink?
And then you'll do something, and then somebody will murmur against you.
I know, right?
Remember, murmuring is where you don't bring it out in the open.
I
Yahweh
know, right?
says if you have anything against somebody, go to that person, do it constructively so it can be worked out.
Right.
Because sometimes, you know, you might hurt somebody's feelings or whatever. Well, you don't know that you did it, because sometimes you could walk by somebody and not even see them because your mind is on something else.
Right.
And then somebody will go back and be murmuring.
I know, right?
Saying something. Yeah, they walked
Under their breath,
by me.
yeah.
They didn't say that. They didn't even see you.
Right.
Go to that person. Don't do it in a murmuring way, in the way the devil does it, behind their back where you can't work it out.
Right.
Go to that person and say, well, you know, I said hello and you didn't even say hello. Or maybe you didn't even hear it.
Right.
And they did say hello. I heard that before we even went on camera. I heard Shabbat Shalom, and I heard the Shabbat Shalom back. Then a couple of minutes later, I said Shabbat Shalom. And then... So you didn't hear the person say it back. But you did it right. You came one-on-one. Don't be bringing somebody else. Yeah, you see how they pass right by me.
Right.
That's murmuring and backbiting. That's of the devil.
Right.
People murmured against Moshe, saying, "What shall we drink?" Go to Ezekiel, the 2nd chapter. Always pointing out something that somebody else is supposed to be doing or didn't do. That's the devil. You come and tell them to their face.
Well, y'all say
See,
do it.
but you want to do it the way the devil said. You don't want to do it constructive, so then Yahweh can work it out, so you can come together and, and dwell in unity and do things decently and in order. I mean, when you're in a close family, somebody gonna say something to hurt your feelings. Somebody gonna do something you don't like.
Right.
That just goes with the territory in a close relationship. What you do is you talk to each other, you work it out, and you keep going.
Right.
You don't be going behind people's back, just keeps a mess going. Ezekiel 2, verse 3.
Hallelujah.
And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day.
Verse 4.
For they are imprudent children and stiff-hearted. I do not send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus said my sovereign Yahweh.
All right, he said, I do send thee unto them, and you, Shelomah, unto them. Thus said Yahweh Elohim, Yahweh the Mighty One. But he said, I'm telling you the type of people I'm sending you to.
Right.
Where you're going to have to stand up against these people and tell them what's right regardless.
Hallelujah.
And they're going to get upset with you and tell you, and I thought they always got to say, I'm not saying doing this or doing. Look, you're in the classroom.
Right.
You're learning how to be in the kingdom.
Yes.
He said, without the kingdom, see, Yahweh started this out where Yahshua, we saw where there's no more tears in the kingdom.
Right.
Ain't no more murmuring, complaining, lying, backbiting, none of that. But he said, right now, Yahshua told you the parable in Yahweh's vineyard. You got that murmuring, complaining. So you had to make a decision now. What are you going to do? Just like the Malachim and Shemaiah made a decision.
Right.
And wouldn't go along with Hasatan. So he said, these are the people I'm sending you to. They're rebellious. They rebelled against me already. They and their fathers. So they got generational rebellion in them.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised when you stand up and you're saying, look, you use the example we, and then you said something negative, and I'm taking myself out of that. That does not apply to me.
Right.
If they look at me cross-eyed, I don't care.
That's it.
Because I understand. I've seen it from the Word.
Right.
If they don't think they're talking about themselves, they need to just go over there and get the dictionary and look up the word we and see what it says when you use the word we.
Right.
Now, how they can say they're not talking about themselves and just using that example, I don't see how that works in their mind. He said they're impudent children, they're stiff-hearted. He said, I'm sending you unto them, and you shall say, this is what Yahweh Elohim said.
Right.
Remember now, this Hebrew word we're looking at, murmuring is showing yourself stubborn and remaining and persisting.
Right.
We can be stubborn, but now when Yahweh says, you need to start working on that.
I know, right?
Don't persist in that, because you're going to hurt yourself now.
Yep.
As far as Yahweh is concerned. Verse 5. 2 and 5.
And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them.
Verse 6.
And thou son of man, he not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words, though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions, Be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house.
Now, so look how Yahweh cut up his people.
I know.
He loves them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love you too.
Right.
But Yahweh said, tell people the truth
That's it.
to help them.
Hallelujah.
He said, whether they will shemar or whether they will forbear, whether they hear you or don't, tell them.
Right.
Whether they like you for telling them or not, tell them. We don't live off of nobody's loves and likes but Yahweh's.
I know, right?
For they are a rebellious body. That's the problem.
Right.
Yet shall they yada that there had been a Nabi among them, because
Okay.
what do the Nabi do? They keep standing up and saying what
Saying
Yahweh
thus
said,
says
and
Yahweh.
doing what Yahweh said, regardless of whether they get the 51% Democratic
I know,
vote
right?
or not.
I know, right?
Whether you come pat them on the back and say,
I know,
well done
right?
or not. They keep doing what Yahweh said
That's
to do.
it.
He said, thou bondman, be not afraid of them. Don't be afraid of their words.
I
Them
know,
fiery
right?
darts
Yeah.
that the devil is having
Yeah.
them talk.
Yeah.
Though briars and thorns be with thee.
Yeah.
So you know that's some stuff like a rose bush.
Right.
You touch that thing wrong, it'll prick your finger and hurt you. That's why there's some of y'all's people, you better stay away from them now. You're gonna come out
Yeah.
all scarred up.
Right.
You can talk to them and everything, but don't get too close
Right,
now.
right.
He said, because they're briars and thorns.
Uh-huh.
Talking about the words. And you're living among scorpions.
I know, right?
Scorpions is dangerous. You don't
Right.
want to be around them.
Right.
But he's talking about his people. He's just giving us an understanding. Love them, but at the same time, in this vineyard, where they're learning to separate truth from error,
Okay.
and learning whether or not they think, oh yeah, I can just curse and use profanity all my life, and call myself a righteous person, and I'm still going to be in this kingdom. Yeah, I'll be walking them streets of gold, and then I'll just say, get away from me, you MF.
I know, right?
They, in their mind, see, the devil has them thinking that.
Yeah, deceive.
Right. Said, don't be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house.